भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी. Hare Krishna. Today we'll be going through the verse from 3rd Canto, 20th chapter, 18th verse. Okay. ससज्ज छायाया विद्यां पञ्चपर्वाणम् अग्रतः तामिश्रम् अन्धतामिश्रम् तमो मोहमय महातमः. ससज्ज छायया विद्यां पञ्चपर्वाणमग्रतः तामिश्रम् अन्धतामिश्रम् तमो मोहो महातमः. ससज्ज छायया विद्यां पञ्चपर्वाणमग्रतः तामिश्रम् अन्धतामिश्रम् तमो मोहो महातमः. Word to word translation. Synonyms: sasajja, created; chayaya, with his shadow; avidyam, ignorance; panchaparvanam, 5 varieties; agrataha, first of all; tamishram, tamishra; andhatamisram, andhatamisra; tamaha, tamas; mohaha, moha; mahatamaha, mahatamas or mahamoha. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. First of all, Brahma created from his shadow the coverings of ignorance of the conditioned souls. They are 5 in number and are called Tamishra, Andhatamishra, Tamas, Moha and Mahamoha. Purport: the conditioned souls are living entities who come to the material world to enjoy sense gratification are covered in the beginning by 5 different conditions. The first condition is a covering of tamishra or anger. Constitutionally, each and every living entity has minute independence. It is misuse of that minute independence for the conditioned soul to think that he can also enjoy like the Supreme Lord, or to think, why shall I not be a free enjoyer like the Supreme Lord? This forgetfulness of his constitutional position is due to anger or envy. The living entity, being eternally a part and parcel servitor of the Supreme Lord, can never by constitution be an equal enjoyer with the Lord. When he forgets this, however, and tries to be one with him, his condition is called Tamisra. Even in the field of spiritual realization, this Tamisra mentality of the living entity is hard to overcome. In trying to get out of the entanglement of material life, there are many who want to be one with the Supreme. Even in their transcendental activities, this lower grade mentality of Tamisra continues. Andhatamisra involves considering death to be the ultimate end. The atheists generally think that the body is the self, and that everything is therefore ended with the end of the body. Thus, they want to enjoy material life as far as possible during the existence of the body. Their theory is, as long as you live, you should live prosperously. Never mind whether you commit all kinds of so-called sins. You must eat sumptuously, beg, borrow, and steal. And if you think that by stealing and borrowing you are being entangled in sinful activities for which you will have to pay, then you just forget that misconception. Because after death, everything is finished. No one is responsible for anything he does during his life. This atheistic conception of life is killing human civilization, for it is without knowledge of the continuation of eternal life. This Andhatamishra ignorance is due to tamas. The condition of not knowing anything about the spirit soul is called tamas. This material world is also generally called tamas because 99% of its living entities are ignorant of their identity as soul. Almost everyone is thinking that he is this body. He has no information of the spirit soul. Guided by this misconception, one always thinks this is my body and anything in relationship with this body is mine. For such misguided living entities, Sex life is the background of material existence. Actually, the conditioned souls in ignorance in this material world are simply guided by sex life. And as soon as they get the opportunity for sex life, they become attached to so-called home, motherland, children, wealth, and opulence. As these attachments increase, moha, or the illusion of the bodily concept of life, also increases. Thus, the idea that I am this body and everything belonging to this body is mine also increases. And as the whole world is put into moha, sectarian societies, families, and nationalities are created, and they fight with one another. Mahamoha means to be mad after material enjoyment. Especially in these years of Kali, everyone is overwhelmed by the madness to accumulate paraphernalia for material enjoyment. These definitions are very nicely given in Vishnu Purana, wherein it is said, Tamo viveko mohasyat antಃकरण विभ्रमः महामोहस्तु विज्ञेयो ग्राम्य भोगा सुखैषणा मरणं ह्यान्धतामिस्रं क्रोध उच्यते अविद्या पञ्चपर्वैषा प्रादुर्भूत महात्मनः. Okay. ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने. नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं. वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सहवधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्ण सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च. हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते. तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये. वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद. हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So today, before sharing, today we'll be going to the explanations. Brahmaji was doing the Visarga. Already, Sarga is there by Karnodaka Sai Vishnu, and he is the secondary creator, Brahmaji. So he is doing the Visarga. So in the Sarga means it was already all the ingredients, everything was there, and primarily it was created by Karnodaka Sai Vishnu, and that means everything, designing, everything is done already. Only he was doing, Brahmaji is doing manually. He is manifesting everything manually. So he was taking the instructions from Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu, and he is implementing all that designing part. It is like contractor who is doing architect, everything is designing everything, and this builder, whoever is constructing, that contractor, he is doing as the secondary manifester, right? In the similar way, here Brahmaji is doing that part. Visarga. Here, yesterday we saw that, we came across that the overview by His Grace Gopikantah Prabhuji about the whole this chapter, 20th chapter. So, little recap. After Lord Varahadeva killed, before killing itself, Swayambhu Manu went to Brahmaji and asked, so as the son, what we can do to please you? So Brahmaji was very much pleased by his son's attitude, with his behavior, everything. Then he said that, okay, how can I do when Mother Earth is submerged in the water? Then Brahmaji said, okay, wait, let's go and pray to the Vishnu. And they all prayed, and Lord assured them that I will appear as Lord Varaha. I will kill the demon Hiranyaksha. Then Lord appeared as the Varaha. He killed Hiranyaksha, and then after Mother Earth was replaced in the orbit, then he was able to, Swayambhu Manu is able to start the procreation. So now it is the lineage of Swayambhu Manu is started. So at this time, Saunaka says, Saunaka yesterday you would have seen, in this beginning of the chapter, you would have seen, Saunaka is asking about this creation, everything. Then in order to explain the lineage of Swayambhu Manu, again, it is the whole creation, which was already mentioned in the 12th chapter of 3rd canto only. It was briefly, partially described. You can see here exactly the same verse. 5 kinds of coverings of ignorance was already mentioned in the 12th chapter. See, the secondary creation is again partially described in order to relate the lineage of Swayambhu Manu. See, now we saw this verse, right? Sasarjagre chayaya vidyam panchaparvanam akrataha, and the tamishram and the tamishram. Here again, in the 12th chapter, what happened? Sasarjagre and the tamishram ata tamishram adhikrit mahamoham cha moham cha tamaschan jnana vrittayaha. Same, Brahma first created the nascent engagements like self-deception, the sense of death, the anger after frustration. If you can see the synonyms, same words, Andathamishram, Tamishram, Mahamoham, Moham, Tamas. So all these 5 coverings already mentioned in the 12th chapter. So 12th chapter, again, it is partially described to just explain the lineage of Swayambhu Manu. It is again retold. So, okay, we will see clearly what are all those. Just the order is changed, whatever is the order. But first, the beginning is here, Prabhupada said that Tamishra, anger or envious, is the root cause. So this anger is the enviousness is the reason for our fall down from the spiritual world. Acharyas explained this. This is because that we are desiring that we should enjoy like the Supreme Lord. So this is the reason our fall down to the material world, everything happened. We will see step by step. First one is avidya. And due to that ignorance, that is leading to asmita, and that is leading to raga, then dvesha and abhinivesha. So avidya means we are, when we want to enjoy ourselves, what is happening means Lord is, that is not the suitable place, right? Spiritual world is meant to serve the Supreme Lord. Then he created a world where we can have that false enjoyment, so-called enjoyment, okay, being the boss. So he created this material world. So when this material world is created, Brahmaji wants to provide. He is the facilitator, right? He wants to execute the Lord's instruction, and he wants to fulfill the living entity's desire. In order to do it both, he is covering this material world. In this material world, he is creating an atmosphere with 5 kinds of ignorance. First one is he is making the living entity forget that he is the soul. Because if he is soul, what is the role of the soul? What is the dharma of the soul? To serve the super soul, right? So if he makes the living entity forget that he is the soul, then only he can live in this material world peacefully. Otherwise, he cannot. So the first one, he created that tamas layer. And then he created moha layer. So first, the forgetfulness. And the second one is illusion, that he is this body, not the soul. So he was subjected to the illusion layer. Next one is, after feeling that I am this body, there will be an attachment, right, with this body. So because this is the body, this is the vehicle, this is the instrument for enjoyment. The soul cannot himself enjoy. It needs some instruments like eyes, nose, ears, hands, legs, everything. He needs some instruments for enjoyment. So that development of the desire for enjoyment, then to have that enjoyment, he will have that anger, enviousness. If anyone is obstructing that, then finally avinivesha. So that fear of death. So we will see deeply what it is one by one. First one is tamas, ignorance, avidya. The condition of not knowing anything about the spirit soul is called tamas. This material world is also generally called tamas because 99%, we already discussed it, right? So this is the main. No knowledge. No knowledge that we are part and parcel. Mamaivamso jivaloke jivabhuta sanatanaha manasthani prakritisthani karshati. So no knowledge and thinking that I am this body only. So that forgetfulness is there. Complete forgetfulness is there. That is the tamasa. So how can we overcome this tamas stage? There are. So when Brahmaji is creating these 5 layers and putting the living entity in this conditioned state covered with 5 types of ignorance, he also provided a facility to overcome these 5 ignorance layers and have the spiritual realization also. Because they are all merciful, right? See, these demigods, they are all the obedient servants. Like when a disobedient citizen is put in the prison, they will give the option also. It's not like they want to punish eternally. They will give the option. If you perform good conduct, good behavior, we will release you again under that special consideration that you have transformed into a good citizen. We can certify you and we can release you. Like that, even in the prison, they will provide some facilities to be good citizens, to have that realization. In the same way, along with 5 coverings to fulfill the desire of the living entity, Brahmaji provide the facilities for the self-realization also. So here, this tamas covering, how to overcome this tamas covering means by studying and discernment. So by studying means by studying this Srimad Bhagavatam. That's why His Grace Madhupat Prabhuji and Simi Siddhas Prabhuji is also, they are conducting every day this Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, everyday Bhagavad Gita classes. So that when we are studying under the with the help of senior Vaishnavas, then we will realize, okay, whenever we are forgetting that we are the souls and we are going for the enjoyment, it will remind us, no, we are the souls. These are all the temporary ignorant coverings. We should not be trapped in these layers. So that study, that education will make us overcome this layer. And we can decide. Discernment means we can judge properly what is our duty, what to be done, what not to be done. So we can have that intelligence by study and discernment. Okay, next one. Moha, Asmita. So ego means here not it is the real ego, it is the false ego, moha, asmita. See, these terminology, asmita, avidya, these are all the terminology given in the Patanjali system also, yoga system. Same, exactly these 5 layers are described by the Patanjali yoga system also, and in the same path. First, avidya. Avidya leads to asmita. We already told, right? See, these are all the Yoga Sutra, these 5 stages, and these are the same Bhagavatam terminologies. But ultimately, meaning is same, path is same. So, ladder is same. So, tamasa is termed as avidya in Yoga Sutra, Patanjali Yoga system, and moha is asmita. And these are mentioned by Kapila Muni also in third canto. You will see in the later chapters. Okay, so next stage after tamas is moha, asmita, illusion, and being the false ego that I am this body, thinking that I am this body, moha is asmita, and in this body and anything in connection with this body is mine to rule. So he will start thinking that I am this body, the relatives of mine, they are mine, I am the boss of them, I am controller. So these misconceptions will arise. Actually, he is not the boss, he is becoming the servant of his body, his senses, his family members. So, but with illusion, he is thinking that I am the boss, I am the controller of my family, I am the Lord, like that. So he's developing sectarianism, racism, sexism, like that. If suppose recently we had that football match, right, worldwide. So this is my country won the game, this country lose. These are all the moha, asmita. First of all, the soul itself is a foreigner to this material world. And being the foreigner, claiming that suppose an immigrant is there coming to US or some other country, and first of all, he himself is an immigrant. With someone else mercy he is here, and if he claims that this country is mine, this place is mine, or Statue of Liberty is mine, it is what it is called. They will say that is a mental person, medically retarded person. So like that, in the same way, exactly, we are the foreigners to this material world. And when we claim that this is my nation, these are my people. So these are all mentally retarded condition, this moha. Okay. And then mahamoha. And what is this mahamoha? Intense desire to enjoy. In the form of more attraction. I want more knowledge, I want more fame, more strength, more wealth, more freedom. Whatever opulences Lord has, this soul desires to have. With that illusory concept, it will think that I want be famous, I want to be more stronger, I want to be more popular and more worshipable. So these are all the intense desire. When these desires are not fulfilled, what happened? Tamishra, that enviousness, anger, all these will develop. So our forgetfulness of God is because we hate God. We are envious of the divine. So that is the main reason we will develop that enviousness here with each and every one of our neighbors. We will not be happy if someone doesn't fulfill our desires, if they are obstructing in our path. We will stay away from them. We will develop enviousness. We'll go against. All these will develop from that nature, but it is not good. We have to serve. We should develop that serving attitude. We should able to see that everyone is part and parcel of Krishna. So if the solution is by forgiveness, by each and everyone, not developing anger upon anyone, even they hurt us, they criticize us. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu always says, right, Trinadapi Shunichena Taro Riva Sahashnana Manena Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari. So when we are developing that respectful nature, and when we serve, especially the spiritual master, Supreme Lord, then only we can overcome this dvesha stage, envious stage. This is the very crucial stage. In the puppet, we saw that even in the spiritual stage also, it is difficult to overcome this stage. Even many transcendentalists, they are trying to see here, even in the field of spiritual realization, this Tamisra mentality of the living entity is hard to overcome. It is difficult to overcome. Many Mayavadis, many impersonalists, their aim is to become one with the Lord. So to become equal with the Lord, that means they're envious of the Lord. So-called, they are superficially practicing the spirituality, they are doing meditation, and they are posing themselves as the great transcendentalists. But their objective is to become one with the Lord. So that means this Tamisra stage is there. They are having that glimpses of Tamisra. So that's why even in the transcendental stage also, spiritual realization stage also, it is difficult to overcome. So this stage can be overcome only with the seva to the Supreme Lord and his pure devotees. So otherwise it is very difficult. Then Andhatamisra. Andhatamisra is pure illusion. It will erase from the Tamisra state, tamas stage, due to ignorance only, due to lack of spiritual knowledge only, this Andhatamisra also will come. So that means first of all, you should have complete spiritual realization. You are not this body at all. It is easy to say, but difficult for realization at each and every moment, because Maya is encouraging us with illusory layers. This here, you want here to enjoy, right? You came here to enjoy, right? Keep on, keep on, keep on. Eyes are saying to enjoy, ears are saying, mouth, especially tongue is so much. That's why we'll say Mahaprashade Govinde Namo Brahmana Vaishya. Sharira Vidyajal Jodindriya Tahikal Jiva Fale Vishaya Sagare Tara Majja Jihvaeti. Jihva ante tongue. It is very difficult to conquer the tongue. Immediately we feel like eating. How much ever we want to be controlled. So Jihva, and we will talk nonsense. Immediately when someone comes, we'll start prasalpa. So we should have spiritual realization at each and every moment. So then we can overcome this fear, avidya, ignorance, and we will stop thinking that this life is all in all. Let's enjoy. They'll say no popularly. Life is like an ice cream, enjoy it before it melts. So this is the atheistic mentality. It is the killing of human civilization, all suicidal intentions. These are all. No, soul, we are all the souls. Next life is there. We will get a animalistic body. So we will see what type of this ignorance is mentality is difficult to overcome, I said, right? So if you see, there are so many victims of ignorance. This Brahmaji is not this Brahma we are discussing now. In another Kalpa, he got infatuated with his own daughter Vagdevi, Mother Saraswati, and he was behind. Later, he committed suicide. So, and we know that says Vishwamitra, he is also got trapped by the Menaka. And Indra, he was so much puffed up with his heavenly pleasures, and he disrespected Brihaspati, his own spiritual master, and he became a pig later on. And later on also, being the pig, he doesn't want to come out of that pig life. He's enjoying that. So these are all due to ignorance, that we are part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. We are supposed to serve the Supreme Lord, not for materialistic enjoyment. Then where are we? How can we control our senses? But if we are ignorant of these facts, see, these are the hells, Tamishra and Andhatamisra hells. We have to go through these hellish conditions for sure. Even though we think that this is the life all in all, no, we'll be sent to these hells. In Kumaras, 4 Kumaras explain that there are 28 hells, and out of that there are 14 very crucial hells are there. So we'll be subjected to those hells and will be punished severely. And later again we take the dogs and hogs life, and again we'll take the human life, rarest form of life. So if there also, if we don't come to the spiritual realization, again the cycle of hell, heaven. So this all go on. So the solution, permanent solution is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam 11th canto. Bhayam advitiya abhiniveshataha. So Anta Tamishra, name is Abhiniveshataha. Abhinivesha. So this bhayam, this fear of abhinivesha can be overcome by, see here, unalloyed devotional service of the Lord under the guidance of the bona fide spiritual master, whom we should accept as his worshipable deity and as his very life and soul. So when you perform unalloyed devotional service to the Lord with the instruction of spiritual master, then we can easily overcome all these layers of ignorance and will be properly situated. So we should have this knowledge, and 3 steps we want. We should have this everyday book reading, Srila Prabhupada book reading, proper sadhana, proper japa, and unalloyed devotional service to the Lord. When we can do these 3, even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that, Bolo Krishna, Bhajo Krishna, Karo Krishna, Siksha. If we can do these 3 things, we can easily overcome these 5 layers of ignorance, and we can be situated in our proper position. We can be the obedient citizens by the Lord. Hare Krishna. If there are any questions, you can post in the Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya group, because already we are running late. Hare Krishna. If anyone is there to take over.
Thank you very much, Madhuri. That's 3 times prayers before the December 31st. We have program 6 p.m. to midnight. Please join on January 1st, 5 to 9 japa. And then Jagannath Puri style buffet is there. January 4th is Krishna Pushabhishek. We won't be celebrating at the temple as it is cold, but you can do yourself at your homes. Offer nice fragrant flowers to the deities and Prabhupada and Guru Parampara. So let's chant and pray 3 times. Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Sri Narsimha
Jaya Padma Mukha Padma Ugram Bhagwan ki Jai. Maharaj ki Jai.
Prabhupada ki Jai. Indra Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai. And let us offer our obeisance to all the Vaishnava devotees. Vancha See you tomorrow.
Thank you, everybody. Haribol. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, everyone. Hare Krishna.